Hi everyone, thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. Today I've made a bookmark that looks like a butterfly, and this is from the brand new release over at Birch Press Design. I'll get into the supplies here in a second, but this bookmark would make a wonderful gift for anyone that needs a little pick-me-up that might be homeward bound right now. So time to curl up with a good book and give this as a gift with a book or a daily devotional. It has a little, how do I explain it? You open it up and you can write notes on the inside. So character names or things in the book that you think are special. Today I have used some brand new stamps, like I said, from Birch Press Design, and I started off with the Cherry Blossom Wreath stamp, and I'm going to be using a portion of that along with the Midnight Mandala stencil and the lovely butterflies. They also come with a whole die set, but I'm using one of these butterflies. I'm also using the Zig Clean Color pens, and I just love how these blend. I'll get into each. I'll have a little tag at the bottom when I'm using them with the colors that I used, but I wanted to show those. So this is how the bookmark looks in a book. Now this is a really good book, by the way. If you are needing a really good book right now, Voice in the Wind, fabulous. But anyway, it can sit on the side or it can sit on the top, and it's just a really cute little ray of sunshine, I guess. But here it is when you take it out. I could have made this thinner, but I liked the width of this one, and you can just write notes all over it. So to get started, I used Bristol smooth cardstock, and I'm using the butterfly, like I said, from Lovely Butterflies, and you can use the die for this, or you don't necessarily need the die. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But I scored at 10.75 on each side. So this piece is 12 inches long. So I've got to kind of move quickly here because there's a lot of steps that I didn't want to leave out of the video. But you can see here I'm kind of masking off the very top part where the butterfly is going to be. I don't want to stamp that, but I wanted to put these little flowers from this wreath underneath it. And you can see it's just kind of hanging off part of the die or the acrylic block. That's okay. I just used what I wanted. And then Raven embossing powder is what I used from Brutus, Monroe, and I just embossed those flowers. And I did this on all 4 sides, so 2 on each side got stamped and embossed in black. Next, I went ahead and then kind of sectioned off what I had just stamped and stamped the butterflies. Now I did this on all 4 sides, and I used a ruler once I had done the first one to kind of just mark off the top and bottom of the butterfly wing, and then I just kind of made a little pencil mark for the other side once I had done that, just so that I kind of had them in the right spot. Don't worry if they're not perfect. I've got a little tip for you toward the, as we go on here. Next, I colored in the butterflies with the Zig colors, and you'll see those colors flash across the bottom of the screen there. Again, I just love how these really blend together really nicely, and I kind of wanted to pull the color down. You can see that I'm working from the top, working from the bottom, kind of letting those colors blend and be streaky. Now for the bottom part, I only used the lighter 2 colors of the 3 colors that I was using for the butterfly. So I just wanted that to be a little lighter, but again, these could be done any way with any color. I did fill in the little dots there with color, and then I went in with a white gel pen and added the little dots in after I had finished coloring it in. Next, I colored in the colors with the English Lavender, and a trick here is I only used 1 color in this, and what I did was I let it dry, and you'll see me go back in with a second layer of the same color, but I did put in an alternate color. I think it's it's called, let's see, blue. It's called Blue, and that was a really nice color to make some shadows in some of the flowers. I didn't do them in these particular flowers, but I did use it in some that you'll see in the photos. So here I am putting in that second layer, and then again I just go through it all with a white Uniball pen and add in some little veins and some dots, and I just had a lot of fun with this. I might have overdone it a little bit, but I really enjoyed doing that. And then I have some very flat confettis. If I find where I got these, I'll put them in the description below, but they just added a really nice little sparkle that was still flat because this is going to be laying in book pages, so I wanted this to be flat. Next I went over the butterfly wings just very lightly with a wink of Stella, and it added just such a nice little sparkle to those wings. The next step was to just kind of fold along that center crease line that we made. I don't think I mentioned it, but I did crease it at 6 inches. Now the other score lines were just kind of for marking for when we were stamping, so I didn't bother to score that there. The butterfly will fold on its own. Now I wanted to show here that you could easily use a die right here to cut out this butterfly wing. Now remember, I stamped on both sides. It's going to be pretty close, but it may be off, and I've got a hint for you of what to do and how to fix that. But if you want to use this die to cut this, this is how you would do it. And I would recommend using my tip if you're going to go ahead and use that die. But you saw how I just hand cut those out, and I kind of made a mess. I flipped it over too quickly. I had ink everywhere. I tried to erase it, but it wouldn't work. So I thought that I would use a stencil on the very front part to kind of make a little pattern. And I used 3 different colors of distress ink. And I used the color palette. I was really stumped on what colors to use here. And that coolers.co link that I just listed is a really great place to help give ideas. You can upload a picture like I did of an orange butterfly, and it just brought in all these different colors that I probably wouldn't have thought about. But you can see that I masked off those leaves when I went ahead and did that Distress Oxide work on there. Now if this white space bothers you, you can see that it was not perfect on both sides. I stamped and colored a second butterfly, cut it in half, and then I glued that to the back half there. So the butterfly is going to match up front to back because it's the same pattern, especially if it's fussy cut. And so I just glued that together, and I suggest doing that and just stamping the top part and then gluing a butterfly onto the bottom on each side, if that makes sense. So then I just added in some splatters because, like I said, I was super messy with this, but splatters fix everything. So that's what I did, and I really appreciate you guys stopping by today. I hope that this encourages you to give or to just enjoy a little bit of springtime in your home today. Have a good day. We'll see you again soon.